Oops. Hello, everybody. Pop culture curator here. So good to see you. It is a Wednesday evening here. We are back with. Tonight we will be doing one episode of Gilligan's Island from season three. We're on episode number 6. Where there's a will, there's a way. I apologize for only having one episode ready to go tonight, but I had a really busy day. So we're doing one episode, and then tomorrow. Next week we will pick up again with 2 episodes, which I promise because I don't plan on having doctor's appointment all next Wednesday. But thank you for your patience. I know some of you have already been waiting in the chat, and I appreciate that. And I'm sorry we missed last week, but we'll make up for it, I promise. And first, I wanted to say hello to my fellow panelists and good friend Gorilla's Random Thoughts. How are you doing tonight, Gorilla?
I'm doing all right.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Good to see you, and thank you for having me on your stream earlier. Your
Yeah, no problem.
Justified, I think, is what it was called, right? Gorilla does
Yeah,
Justified streams on his channel.
yeah, with Timothy Oliphant.
Timothy Elephant, not elephant, Oliphant.
Yeah. Like an Indian person saying elephant.
Right? Yeah, that's true. And it looks like in the chat, looks like the first one here we have Suzanne Eckstein. Suzanne, hello, good to see you. I have missed you. We all missed you. It's been a while. I hope you're doing okay. And Suzanne says, yes, I finally made a live stream. Well, I'm definitely glad to hear that. And she says, hello, Pop. And that's me saying hello to her. And LDG waving. Hello, LDG. Good to see you. Glad you can make it tonight. And Sci-Fi Sit Down says, hello there, Pop Culture. Hello there, Sci-Fi Sit Down. So, yeah, tonight we're going to be covering, we are on season 3, episode 6. And the episode is titled Where There's a Will, There's a Way. This episode aired originally on October 17th, 1966. And the plot synopsis is as follows. Mr. Howell names the other castaways as beneficiaries in his will, but he then fears they may be trying to kill him for their inheritance, when in reality they are throwing a surprise party for him. I need to stop reading that plot synopsis. It pretty much gives away the whole thing. So it's kind of like full of spoilers. I don't know if that's a good thing. In my opinion, and by the way, I'm reading that directly from Internet Movie Database, and I'm sure it's okay what they put in there, but I wish they would just maybe put the first half and then leave it up to you to watch it and find out the rest. But oh well,
Yeah.
that's just me. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time tonight. We'll get, like I said, we'll have one episode tonight, and then we'll have 2 episodes next week. And as a reminder, everyone, there I did put a poll in the chat. If you get a chance, consider voting on what grade you would give this episode tonight. You could either grade on what you think of the episode or what you think of our coverage. How did we do? And maybe perhaps consider hitting the like button if you haven't subbed to my channel. Maybe do that as well. Also, check out my good friend Gorilla's Random Thoughts channel. He's got a lot of amazing, funny stuff over there. And we'll be plugging his channel a little bit later here. So, all right, without further ado, as they say, let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, let's get her. Get her done.
There we go. All right, now we have our opening titles. And of course, we have our heroes on our 3-hour tour.
Yeah, sit right back and hear a tale of faithful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. Yeah, I better not sing anymore, cause
I know it's sad. I know it really. I know we did this before, but it's a shame we can't play the main title because it is so iconic and excellent. And I know we all wish we could sing along to it, but shame on YouTube because they will definitely say that's a no and punish me. I've had that happen before. Here we open with the scene of Marianne picking flowers. And
yeah,
I thought this is a very odd opening scene for an episode of Gilligan's Island. What do you think?
Oh no, it's like sad. You know, it's like you knew something was wrong with one of the castaways, and then not only that, it's like you had this like sad, melodramatic music that just was like, but like puts you in a like a different mood. As like, oh fuck,
Yeah, it's not like Gilligan's Island. I don't remember, and I've seen this show since I was a kid, and I don't remember this opening.
yeah. And LDG's asking about an overlay.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, LDG. Yes. Uh, yes, I have an overlay. This will be the first time using it with our Gilligan's Island stream. Thank you for reminding me, LDG. It's our first time using it. So we'll see how it looks, and hopefully it doesn't block too much. There we go. Hopefully that's satisfactory. Okay. But yeah, this episode, strangely enough, opens up with a close up of Marianne actually crying. First time ever on this show. And she's picking a flower, which I thought was an odd opening. Like I said, it's very strange. I wish I could play the clip, but I can't because, I mean, seriously, I keep getting warnings from that horrible television station in Louisiana.
Yeah, leave it to Louisianans to ruin it for everybody.
Of course. I should put some nasty things about them in the chat or in the put a little banner that goes across the bottom and send some nasty about that channel.
Well, I did that with Warner Brothers there. Then I actually got more professional with it.
I feel like being unprofessional. I don't think they're being professional when they keep striking my channel for
Yeah,
doing nothing.
yeah. Oh, and hey to Suzanne and Sci-Fi Sit Down and to Suzanne there.
Yeah, good to see you all. Oh, sci-fi sit down. So here's what we have. This now we have the reveal of why Marianne is crying because apparently Mr. Howell is ill and everyone's tending to him. I
Yeah,
thought this was funny. I loved those gauges they have stuck in his mouth, like it's supposed to be a thermometer.
yeah. I was
It's
gonna
way over
ask.
the top.
I was gonna ask, would that even actually work?
I feel like wait, one is a thermometer and one's a barometer. Okay,
Yeah,
the thermometer might work. I don't know, but considering that heavy pipe, I unlikely. I don't know if I doubt it would. In fact, I doubt it would be accurate like an actual thermometer.
yeah,
But I thought it was funny. It's a great opening.
yeah. It's fun. Oh yeah, it's totally hilarious, but it's just like, yeah. I suppose they have to go Blues Brothers on this. Go bigger, where they overdo everything there.
Yes, true. Very cartoonish. And the professor's reading the readings, I guess you could say. And Mr. Howe's feeling a little under the weather, and hopefully we have our subtitles. I'm trying to see if I can catch what Gilligan says. There it
Yeah,
is. There it is. Okay, his temperature is normal, but I
but it's
think he's going
fresh.
to raise his Gilligan.
Yeah, as pressure's dropping, it's gonna. I think it's gonna rain.
Right.
And apparently they only had a 3 minute timer on there. Whatever happened to Gilligan's watch?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Well, that's true. He did watch it, and so does Mr. Howell, I think, if I remember right. So apparently he seems to be okay. And we've had that stethoscope that the professor has around his neck.
oh
We
yeah,
have seen that before.
oh yeah, multiple times.
Hmm. I like the fact they bring these props back. And I'm sure I've mentioned it before in previous streams. But according to the book Inside Gilligan's Island by Sherwood Schwartz, the prop makers for the show, they really enjoyed making all that crazy stuff for the show. But it was always, they always found it a challenge. I think they did a great job. And this is how I remember: is it you feed a fear or starve a cold, or which way around is that?
Yeah,
You know what? It's interesting. About time they did cover this topic because, excuse me, we've spoken about this before in our previous streams. Is that Gilligan's Island tends to cover most of the major dilemmas you would run into if you were stranded on a deserted island. So they've had famine where they were out of food. They've had where they were out of water. They've had where they've encountered the weather. They've had where they've encountered outside forces. Of course, jokingly so, like headhunters and stuff like that. And how they were attempting to repair the boat. But here is where what would they do if one of them becomes ill? Because we have spoken about that before. Because there is no actual doctor on the island, so it looks like the professor is very limited when it comes to his knowledge. And by the way, this is a kind of a mistake here because if I remember right, Skipper says I got this from the boat.
Hey,
Skipper
where's the
brings in
boat?
a tank of oxygen, right? It's like, where's the boat? What boat?
Yeah, yeah, that was a major plot hole.
Yes, well, that won't be necessary, Skipper. Call a specialist development is now. Of course, at least he has Teddy with them at his side. So, professor's telling him what's wrong with the gastrointestinal tract. This manifests itself in contractions of the upper transverse colon. I can't read too much in detail, everybody, seriously, or I will get a strike. I've had that happen one time. The professor was doing an experiment, and all I was doing was reading along with what he was doing, and we got a copyright warning. It's crazy. So Mr. Howell has a common bellyache, is all it is.
Why does Professor always say like the full name, and everybody's like, huh?
Oh, well, that's the humor about it, right? And it's funny too because the professor is always on a different level than the rest of them. But they're talking about how nice everyone is to help for helping Thurston. So and this is how it's coming up with these different. They're both coming up with these ideas of all the different things that they wish they could do in return for the castaways for helping him out. And Mr. Howell says, I begin to think of them as my family. Remember, guys, the Howells don't have family. They don't have any children, and it's just those two. So that kind of makes sense.
Wait,
Family, that's it. I know what I'll do. Go ahead.
they never had any kids.
No kids. They've established that. So, boys and girls, when we get to the movie, because obviously we're going to finish season 3 of Gilligan's Island, then we're going to show the 3 made for TV movies, culminating in the very last one, which is the Three Stooges. I'm sorry, what am I thinking? The Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island. That will be the last one. And unfortunately, at the last minute, they do put a son in there for the Howells. It's Thurston Howell the fourth. It's played by an actor named David Ruprecht. He's not very good. He's doing kind of like an impersonation of Jim Backus. But the only reason why they did it, which you guys will see when we get there, on like I said, it's the last made for TV movie called Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island, and they've got a younger guy playing Thurston's son, and only because at the time Jim Backus was his health was in a severe decline from Parkinson's, among other things. So he's only in a cameo in that last movie. There's a very small bit role, a walk-on role, and he has a couple lines, and that's about it. Unfortunately, it's very sad to see, but we will cover that. So now they're talking about writing them, adding them to their will. Always that same hut. Always that same hut.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah, they're
Yeah,
leaving.
yeah. Go ahead.
But
Sorry.
remember that episode like $3 million shot or more, when Mr. Howell tried scamming Gilligan with the oil well?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah,
He kind of
so
right. He kind of brings it up here too, right? He's got properties that aren't exactly profitable.
Oh yeah, because they talk about the railroads loses $1 million a year, so why would he even keep that? But then
Exactly.
he gives Gilligan the oil well, which I'm pretty sure is the same one he tried scamming him with the last season or 2 seasons ago.
Yes, I think it was first season, possibly. You're right about that. Now they're toss around different ideas, and he says, "We'll leave the diamond mine to Gilligan." But then Lovey has a better idea. She said, "Oh, I thought I'd give that to Ginger," which does make sense, I guess. But then I'd say poor Marianne. Then what does she get? Right? She should get something equally as fantastic. Like
Oh, she does.
yes,
We'll find out in a couple.
you know about that diamond mine in Arkansas that you can go dig out diamonds, right?
I thought it was a gold thing, and someone just got like a couple of years ago dug up like a $13,000 piece.
No, it's diamonds, and yes, every now and then people will dig up pieces. It's in Arkansas, and I lived there for a little while when I was doing some work for a company called Rico. I thought about it going out there, but I never really got around to it. But yeah, it's open to the public. You pay a flat fee, and you go in and you dig for diamonds. Whatever you find is yours.
And I wonder how much that costs to get in.
It's not that expensive. It's family. It's owned by a family that runs it and charges a fee.
Yeah, but how many people actually come out of their head?
I don't know. I don't know the exact statistics, but I know it's enough to keep them in business. It's been around for a while, and they are handing everything out. I think I'm going to faint, says Ginger.
Yeah.
Even the
No.
professor gets excited. He's going to get his own lab. Go ahead.
Oh no, he gets the railroad there because he has a mechanical
Oh, that's
mind.
right. That's
But I
right.
love
Yeah.
the skipper's reaction. And the skipper will leave you 40 acres in Colorado. 40 acres, that all? Yeah, I'm grateful.
Right.
Oh,
But it's downtown 40 acres, right?
yeah. And welcome, PvP.
Hello, BBP. Welcome, welcome. And by the way, Jim Backus, the actor playing Mr. Howell, is from Cleveland, Ohio. I'll be right back. I gotta get a soda refill. I'm still not drinking booze, guys. I'm still drinking soda, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, he says hi, Susan. Oh, it's funny. You get Gilligan gets the oil well, but he has to change the monogram, whatever. I think so he'll have to put his name instead of the Howell's name on there. Mary Ellen or Marianne, I mean, gets four or she gets a huge plantation with two crops, sugar and cotton. But he also throws in a fleet of cars because it's a long way between crops. Ginger gets the diamond mine. The professor gets a railroad, and Skipper gets I need like 40 acres of downtown Denver. That almost be all. Yeah. Let's see. An acre is like 1,000 by. How big is an acre? Yeah. How big is acre? Acre. So an acre here is an acre is a unit of land, British Imperial, United States customers. So an acre is so an acre is 43,560 square feet. So
Okay.
so basically, no, an acre has to be bigger than that. They're saying an acre is 43,560 square feet, but and a football
Oh,
field is 48,000 square feet.
oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I
That
don't know.
doesn't.
Maybe anybody in the chat know the answer to that.
That just seems kind of. That just kind of seems kind of weird. Yeah, or 66 feet by 660 feet. I don't know. That just seems a little off to me.
I wouldn't know. I haven't looked it up. And we have Mr. Howell, a cameo by his glasses, which are the real glasses, obviously owned by Jim Backus, the actor. So I think it's maybe a total. I can count on one hand how many times we see his glasses in the TV show. They make a reoccurrence in Rescue from Gilligan's Island.
Oh, they show up. They show up quite a bit.
And here's where he, for Marianne, a fleet of cars.
Yeah, that's where I just went through what everybody got there while we were wait for you to come back there
Thank you.
because it would. Man, that had to be one hell of a farm there if you have to get a fleet of cars just go between crops.
Yeah, I know that's hilarious, right? Well, I'd say give me a different car for each day of the week.
Well, it depends on what you define as a or what you call a fleet.
Well, obviously, if it's well, a fleet would be if you're going to have a bunch of hired hands, I guess, right? Then you get like 6 trucks, and then maybe have them all painted with the logo on them, that kind of thing. And of course, Gilligan doesn't know what a monogram is. And of course, yeah, Skipper's pretty much so excited he's just telling Gilligan to shut up.
Yeah, the monogram's just the name on the top, ain't it?
Yes. That's the one.
Yeah.
And here,
Oh,
this is probably where he reminds Professor Skipper about wrecking the boat.
oh no, Lovey did that. That he's just like
Oh, that's
that's
right.
because, I was like, that's because Lovey there likes to. She does. She doesn't think before she speaks.
Yes, that's true. And of course, look at Skipper's reaction there, poor guy.
Yeah.
Go to our beloved captain, 40 acres in Colorado. There it is. Yeah, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. And PvP says, and Charlie Brown gets a rock. Oh, never mind. Wrong show.
Yeah,
He says, Mr. Howell being generous, out of character for him. Well, that's because he thought he was dying and all the castaways took care of him.
yeah. At the beginning, he was very ill. Everyone took care of him.
Yeah. Like, this scene here, this Gilligan reminded me of Bubba from Forrest Gump.
All the different things he would do if he had the money.
Yeah, only Bubba was like shrimp gumbo, shrimp side, fried
Yep.
shrimp. Like,
Yes.
that's what this whole scene just reminded me of. Is that scene in Forrest Gump where they just start rattling off all the different stuff. Which the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company actually has some pretty good food.
I've seen it, but I've never been in there. I passed by
Oh,
it.
oh, it's pretty good there. I actually got a few license plates in my bathroom there. They're like one says stupid. Mama says stupid is and stupid does, and other ones like I got one that I even got the one above the toilet that says I gotta pee.
And Marianne doesn't seem to be as happy as Ginger. Of course,
well,
all Ginger's thinking about is Broadway, of course. But I don't blame her.
well, it's Barry Allen. She's never thought about having money.
Marianne.
Yeah.
Marianne's an eternal Miss Lonely Heart. Kind of sad. But you can kind of picture the castaways. They never change. Their characters never change. Okay, think about this. They were there on the island while the show was on the air for 3 years. And then, according to lore, or canon, however you want to call it, they were on the island for 15 years. But they never actually age. They don't change. The characters don't change because it's Gilligan's Island. So 15 years from now, Marianne's still single. Ginger's still a wannabe Broadway star. So it's kind of interesting the fact that their characters don't change or evolve. Almost like, well, like we said before, almost like cartoon characters. And of course, Skipper wants to buy a whole fleet. And of course,
Yeah.
if the professor's like that, you go ahead.
Well, he goes. Maybe I'll buy. Well, he wants to buy a boat, one of those fancy boats with the swimming pool and all that. But then he
Yes.
goes, "I'm gonna buy an aircraft carrier." But then I need to buy the aircraft. Maybe I'll just buy the whole Seventh Fleet, which would be like impossible for a civilian to even afford any of that.
Yeah, that is overstepping his bounds. I don't think Mr. Howell's giving him that much money.
Well, that much money, like an aircraft carrier back then was, let alone was probably 400 million.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's obviously he's over exaggerating. And Professor is talking about a nuclear reactor, and Gilligan is looking more for the simpler things in life. So he's talking about pancakes, maple syrup, and things like that,
And licorice, 10 pounds
and
of
licorice.
licorice.
Right. He's not setting his sights as high as the rest of them.
Well, do you expect any less, any more from Gilligan?
No.
Oh, well, let's see. PvP says, "Drew about all the newly acquired riches. What could possibly go wrong?"
Exactly right.
Yeah,
We all know what happens when they do that.
that Gilligan here is not a very good liar.
No, he's and this is odd too, where he basically told me that he's like lying to him. I was like, huh? What is this? This seemed odd. It's an odd script. The whole show in general, the whole episode is odd. It's not written like a regular Gilligan's Island episode. The characters do things in this episode that is contradictory to what they normally would do in other episodes. I thought it was different. I don't know. What do you think? Did you notice any difference?
No, well, it was weirdly written. Who wrote this episode?
Uh, Give me a moment here. I don't know if it's one of the regulars because like the first couple seasons it was the Schwartz
Oh,
writers. Yeah, Sherwood Schwartz, Sidney A. Mandel, and Roy Cameraman. So yes, Sherwood was part of it.
oh, so yeah. I'm wondering if no one proofread anything or something.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, everything was polished back then. It's just the good news they didn't have it like now where they have to go through all these committees and all this kind of garbage. So if anything, yeah, it was definitely better than that.
Well, I think we nowadays we should do what Angel Studios does.
What's that?
They got what's called the Angel Guild, which has thousands of members who can before anything's made. People get the scripts ahead of time of any like any movies that they want to have come out, and they can get. And they have to have like unanimous approval of the script before it can even be made. Then they have pre-screenings before it's actually released to the public.
Well, I can see how that's a good thing because everybody votes on it, but that doesn't guarantee the movie's going to be a hit.
Well,
What if you've got a really really good idea, but everybody votes it down? And Angel Studios, I mean, they're more conservative, aren't they?
they're
Like,
the ones that did Sound of Freedom.
yeah, I know about it. So I mean, aren't they more conservative, like religious stuff and things like that?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe not so much religious, but yes, they are more conservative.
Well, I give them credit. At least they bucked the system, and that movie was successful, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah, but this here is such an obvious trap.
Well, yeah, it is a trap. They're building for those out there listening at home. Marianne and Ginger are building a trap, and they say that the reason why is, and we've talked about this in previous. This is the first time this has ever happened, but we talked about this before. If there's any wild animals on the island, but now the girls are saying that there's a boar, and they want to trap it so that they can have a barbecue in the Howell's honor because they left them in their will.
Okay, so if there's a boar on the island, why didn't they eat that while they're all starving?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, see, that's like a major plot hole here and all that. And where's all the, where's all the, like the little piglets and everything running around?
Yeah.
they could easily make a farm for the there and grow
Yeah.
pigs there. They'd have a constant supply of
You
pork.
think Mary, right? You think Mary Ann would definitely know how to round them up, right? So here we have the girls are making this pit for supposedly an off-screen boar we don't see, and they see the house coming, and of course they don't want the house to get suspicious because this whole thing is for a surprise barbecue.
Yeah,
So that's why they're saying, "Oh, we better get out of here."
yeah. And hey, Scurvy.
Hey, Lemon, hello, hello. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And this is Hal notices, and Mr. Hal falls into it, unfortunately.
He's like, "No, they're trying to kill me."
Right. Has he figured that? Has he thought about that yet? Well, not figured it out, but has he? I don't know if is he suspicious yet.
Well, this is where he talks about the arrow. This is where they decide to go to the professor.
Well, that's right. Yes, because things aren't adding up. Right. Gilligan was acting funny at first, and now they talk about the girls and the pit. Or yeah, it could be part of such a dastardly plot.
Yeah, and
plot.
and and he uses that. I think this is a scene where he uses the old trope that's been used a lot in a lot of 60s and 70s TV shows. The first we got this, the second we got this, and the third we got that. That joke's been used over and over again in a lot of 60s and 70s.
I would
Where,
not be surprised.
but especially since he's thinking one thing and it's actually turned out to be something else. That plot's been used a lot.
That was the whole series of Three's Company. Every episode revolved around somebody misunderstanding something, and the whole episode they're all running around like chickens with their head cut off, and then until the very end they realize it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah,
That's every single episode of Three's Company.
and how long did that show last?
Several years.
Uh,
I don't remember off the top of my head, but long time. So now Mr. House saying to think that people will be corrupted by money, and of course, like he is. You can't honestly believe in everybody on this. So now is where he's suspicious. Now, Levy isn't exactly as suspicious he is. That's what she said. You can't honestly believe that everybody on this island is trying to. And this is kind of a dark matter, trying to bump him off is what he's thinking. But look, there's Ginger and Marianne, and they're saying the only logical person is the professor that
yeah.
they can trust. And then now we cut to here. We have a scene with the professor and a rock. I can't show too much about that. Probably get flagged just for that.
Well, they say, "Hey, professor," that also he runs away, and then somehow that big rock just fell on its own.
Yeah, because he was propping it up. Well, he didn't get a chance to finish. He was going to prop that rock up to make a trap for the boar, but unfortunately, he
No,
didn't run for the howls, and he
no,
didn't get a chance to finish. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no. He's not trying to trap the boar. That's what the pit's for. Well, there's
Oh,
mushrooms that are growing underneath that rock.
oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, so apparently about some. I wonder if those are the good mushrooms. You know, the ones that
Oh,
give you a
yeah.
fun vacation there for like an hour or two.
Yeah, that'd be even better than the barbecue.
Yeah,
Thank you for remembering that.
but I think those ones require cow pies.
Yeah, magic mushrooms are born in feces, or they're grown. Sorry, and in dark shade, yeah, dark shade, and I think feces. And there's where they right, as you were saying, the professor was working with the rock, and it unfortunately fell just as the howls come.
Yeah.
And Mr. Howell's about ready to pass out because he thinks the professor is trying to kill him.
Now, is
So actually,
Lovey even really that strong enough to hold him?
I was gonna say that there's no way, right?
Yeah. Now, I got a question. You see how all Mr. Hall is just covered in dust? Where's the dust on Lovey?
Yeah, I know it, right?
It would have been nice if they would have dusted her up, at least.
Well, it's not like it's above. She's above that. They showed that before, like the episode where they got stuck in the cave and
Yeah.
she had to crawl out through the rocks. So she's gotten dirty before and wet in the lagoon.
Yeah. Here, let's catch up on chats real quick.
Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate it.
And PvP says, Mary Ellen? LOL, Gorilla. Yeah, Oh, a little tired here from last night. And PvP says writing by committee rarely works. Yep. Better to have one or two good writers.
Yep, totally.
And Scurvy says, hey, Gilligan's fans. Hey, Scurvy. Hey, Lord PvP. PvP is Dark Lord of the. PvP was a Dark Lord of the Sith. Then I don't know what we're getting here. It's Macho Man or something.
I have to squint. My eyes, my eyes.
My
Not
eyes,
sure.
my
Not
eyes.
sure. Sorry, guys. I tried, but my eyes. I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have the $6 man vision for those old folks.
Let's just call it Macho Man.
Macho Man, bionic vision.
Oh, he said supervillain. Okay.
So now they are getting. Here we are. The castaways getting ready for the barbecue, and they're discussing plans. I don't know what those. I don't know if you can see my arrow. Yeah, you can. Green and red gourd are supposed to be. They look clearly like plastic.
Yeah,
So
but
I
yeah,
go ahead.
well, those things look like the one guy on Facebook where all his videos are the same. They'll show like some people will show something or there'll be something like that, in that shape. That he's an EMT. Then he'll like do the two fingers coming closer. Then he'll move the camera closer. Then he'll just shake his head no, because yeah, people like to stick them where they don't belong.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confused. What's that?
Yeah, and people will make videos or take pictures of stuff shaped like that, like those two plastic gourds or whatever. And this guy on
Okay.
Facebook, all his videos are almost exactly the same. Same
And
there.
you make several of them?
Oh yeah, all these different shaped objects
Oh,
that there, and he'll move like two fingers forward closer. Then he'll just shake his head, no, no, because like to indicate, yeah, because people like to stick them where they don't belong.
oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're getting my drift.
I'm not really. I'm sorry.
Okay,
So
I'll put it
now
in the
they're
private
talking about.
chat since it's I'll put it in the private chat since it's a PG.
So now where they're Gilligan, unfortunately, is mixing the punch, and unfortunately, he's drinking too much of it. But apparently, they actually fermented uh, fruit themselves, and they kind of make it a point that Gilligan's getting kind of drunk.
Gilligan's a lightweight.
Well, that too, probably, and he's skinny.
No, he probably hasn't drank in years.
He says it's too sweet. Now he's putting some orange in it. Now they're talking. They're also making. They're also talking about how they're planning on trapping that boar for the barbecue. And at the same time, okay. By the way, Mr. Howell is still on guard here. Notice the way he's dressed. You see that?
Yeah, that yeah, yeah, we'll see that. We'll see this outfit again here next week. But yeah,
Well, the reason I was going to point it out is they made a movie that's based on a. First of all, there was a book. Then they made a movie based on it called The Dangerous Game about a man who hunts another man, and that's the clothes the guy wore.
oh, okay,
So that's the reason. It's a nod to that.
gotcha.
It's basically like if you're going to safari hunting. It's like a hunter's outfit. And of course, Mrs. Howell's not looking at it quite as seriously as Mr. Howell. Hush, Rocky, come on, boots. There they are making everything. Now here's what. Let's see if I can try to get this right, okay? And here's where Gilligan seemed the punch is almost done, but unfortunately he drank it all. But believe me, it was perfect, he said.
Mm,
See, and here's where they're talking about the boar. So they're talking about when they catch the boar, which apparently they haven't done yet, is who's going to slaughter it. And you can see there that Skipper has a machete. So what he does is he goes over to the window here, and this is odd and it's interesting too because once again it's unusual for Gilligan's Island. But Mr. Howell happens to be walking by as Skipper is has the machete talking about them slaughtering the old boar, and unfortunately, Mr. Howell thinks he's talking about him.
Well, we've had this trope before, so it
Now
now
I'm talking about how they shot the camera angle. I just think it's interesting. The window and the way the juxtaposition of with the skipper on the inside. I don't know. It's different. I don't know what I can't quite put my finger on it. So now they're talking about the different ways. Maybe they could just hit him with senseless with a club. Of course, Mr. Howell's outside listening to the whole thing. I think even a pig deserves more dignity than that. He rushes back, of course, to tell Levy. And now he's even more convinced than ever, of course, unfortunately. They'll never take me alive. And now he's telling her what they had said, what he had overheard. And he thinks the party is to celebrate him dying. Now he's saying what he's going to do. He's going to leave and he's going to go to the other side of the island where he can live off basically the land, berries and grubs and things.
oh shoot, I was
Now they
muted. He doesn't know about the party yet. Yet he just hears that they're gonna slaughter the little boar. They're thinking it's him.
but he
But
did say party. The text said that they were going to have a party.
yeah, but he doesn't know about it.
I thought he said. I'm saying that's what I'm saying is when he was telling Lovey, I think he said party. I think he said they were going to have a party after they slaughtered the old boar.
Oh yeah, maybe. But there was a mistake in that last scene though, with him packing his bags. There, you could see him slamming the suitcase shut twice.
Oh yeah, well I didn't notice, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
Now they're explaining to her, and it's like, oh no, of course she's saying it was all misunderstanding, obviously. She's saying he thought you were trying to kill him. So now they decide we better go get him, of course. And they're looking for him and they're shouting out his name, but he doesn't know that and he's still worried. Now they find an old wrap of banana peeling with a handkerchief.
They sets out of the suitcase there. Just good thing he stuck around to the edge here though.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that quicksand there, that's just pretty much mostly water with a little bit of sand.
Yeah, you got that. It's not even real sand. It's water with probably something like similar like Rice Krispies on top. Obviously, whatever's on top is gonna be lighter than the water, so it floats at the top.
Yeah.
Of course, quicksand. Hey, Mr. Howe, they're all looking for him. So, of course, he fakes his own demise by putting his hat on top of the quicksand. And when they come along, they find the hat. They think that he went down in the quicksand.
Yeah, and they got whole Gilligan back.
Yes.
Yeah. Here, let's catch up on chat real quick.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see. It shows very small. Yeah, he's talking about the icon there. And we get in parentheses private chat. Then Scurvy here says, I'm your private chatter. Do what you want to do. Want me to do, Tina Turner.
Yes, Tina Turner
So
song.
some emojis aren't that great. Well, it's the size of the screens and the way they show up in the chat on our end. It really sucks.
Yeah, we're on StreamYards. It's like a smaller screen, guys. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And Scurvy says, "Holy cow! It's 9:45 p.m. That moment when you didn't realize it's that late." Yeah. And Scurvy says, "I guess it's only like what 6:45 in PvP land." He said 7:45.
I think it's
Oh, okay,
7:45.
PvP. Yeah, he's in Gorilla
Yeah.
Chill time zone. 2 hours ahead, and
Yeah, in fact, that reminds me, we have time zone. Isn't it coming up this weekend? Or is it soon, eventually?
another month.
Another month? Okay.
Yeah, PvP says, or Scurvy says PvP. What's it like in the past? He says, "LOL, Scurvy." Or we're all caught up.
Thank you. So, unfortunately, they think that Mr. Howell went down in the quicksand. So, that's why they're putting together this makeshift funeral here for Mrs. Howell. And all they have left is his hat. And of course, they're all grieving and they're saying now they feel bad because he had left them in all their will. He had left all of them in his will. And they're dearly beloved. We are paying our last respects. And this first skipper says, and we are richer for having known him. Our thoughts are with you down there, Mister Howell,
Oh,
Mrs. Howell.
yeah, and Mr. Holly was kind of like a selfish, selfish. What's the proper term? I wanna. And he can be a real jerk, But this here shows you the respect of the dead. But it's like you do not get this anymore. Like anytime like anybody relatively famous dies there, oh my god, the Twitter there, it's like, does anybody have any class anymore?
No, and you're right. They'll do it as soon as people are dead. They don't even wait for the body to cool down. They're already talking crap about them. It's sad.
Well, yeah, like I was kind of like really expecting it with the Queen because people don't understand, don't know history. They're just like they're ignorant. They just don't know history. But like
You
I was
got that
expecting a
right.
lot. Like there's a lot of respect for like when Toby died, but even on Toby's there, we could see some of the stuff there. There are people talking crap, but it's just like, ah, just
Nobody's
shut the
immune.
hell up.
If they're a public figure, it's going to happen. Nobody's immune to it.
Yeah, no, but it's like nobody has any class anymore.
Correct. And here's where Skipper says now. Remember, Mr. Howell is in the bushes in the tree listening to all this, and they're talking. The Skipper's giving his eulogy. He's a true friend. He's a true friend. We always count on him. And the girls are crying.
Yeah, Mr. Fowler, Professor says, it's like he can just hear us. He's not really gone.
Yes.
And the whole time, Mr. Howell's in the tree there, just crying.
That's where Gilligan has the deed that he was given by Mr. Howell, and he's tearing it up, saying he doesn't want it. And then Skipper says goodbye, Denver, and they're all turned. And of course, as they're all doing this, Mr. Howell, oops, try to catch that, falls out of the tree. Of course, I can't show it because otherwise I get a copyright warning.
Yeah.
And good news is, Lovey's extremely happy. Thurston is just fine.
Yeah. Then
And they
this
get to
thing,
have the barbecue after all.
yeah, this scene here was omitted in syndication.
Is that because of time or what?
I don't know why. I just know it was omitted from syndication. The part with the cake that's coming up here in like 2 seconds.
Over Lovey pops out? Or maybe
Yeah.
I thought that was too risque. They definitely, because I was looking closely at the table, they don't show the ribs or pork ribs, so I guess they didn't catch that boar.
Well, someone cheaped out on the set dressing. Yeah,
And here's where he's saying you gave me the finals. He's saying, for he's a jolly good fellow, and he's saying you gave me the finest funeral a man could ever have. And now they bring out the surprise. And that is a pretty elaborate prop there for Gilligan's Island.
yeah.
Like, okay, where'd they get all that stuff at, right? But oh well. I just wish that dear Lovey was
And
there.
now he finally realizes where's Lovey at. It took him a while, but to realize that she's gone. Yeah, it pops out of a paper cake there. Now I'm just glad she had clothes on when she popped out of the cake. I'm just gonna say I'm glad
Yeah,
she had the clothes on.
yeah.
Because every other cake scene I've ever seen when someone pops out of a cake, they don't have no clothes on.
Well, some do, but a lot do. It just depends on which kind of party you're at, I guess.
Well, every
All
single
right.
cake scene I've seen, nobody had their clothes.
Yeah, but they do have them where they're like in bikinis or stuff like that.
Yeah, close,
But
same thing.
and that concludes this episode. Where there's a will, there's a way. As a reminder, everybody, I did put a poll in the chat. If you feel up to it, please consider voting and let us know what you think about either this episode or the review of this episode. And I hope you enjoyed it yourselves. If you did, maybe consider hitting the like button and subscribe if you have not done so yet. We will be back, like I said, I promise next week with count them, two episodes of Gilligan's Island.
Yep.
So Gorilla, before we move on, so what grade would you give this
Well,
episode?
just catch up here real quick.
Oh,
So
good idea.
they're asking Suzanne. They're saying hi to Suzanne and long time here, but then Suzanne says PvP. Very well, dear. Thanks, dear. That says Scurvy Yuppers hopefully back fully next week. All right, sweet.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's great news.
And PvP says even when where celebrities are live, YouTube idiots post that they're dead. Well, that's clickbait they call them death hoaxes. They do that a lot. Like
Yes,
Gabriel Iglesias is like on his third one.
terrible.
Yeah, like Gabriel Iglesias is on his third one.
I don't know who that is.
He's a Mexican comedian.
Okay,
He's also known as Fluffy. He's a big guy. You might have heard the joke, the racist gift basket.
no.
That's his most famous joke. Then PvP says, I remember about 3 months back, some YouTube channel posted a video with the title like, "We regret to announce the passing of Brian May. Quinn's guitarist is still very much alive." Yeah,
Yes,
it's
he is.
clickbaited scam there.
Yeah, it is. It's really yeah. It's been going on for decades. Actually, it's been going on for decades where they'll do that about somebody, and sometimes it's a mistake, and sometimes it's just cruel. But yeah, there's no reason to really do that. But so, Gorilla, what grade would you give this episode?
Oh, this was an A episode, even though this trope's been used a lot there, where that's all everything's a misunderstanding, but it's still a good one, a
Of course.
heartfelt episode, and there's slightly different though, even though the music was like makes you depressed, but that's a whole different song.
Well, tell us about your channel. What do you got going on over there?
Well, tomorrow we are watching for cringe stock. We were watching Alpha Girls, where some what'd you call it? Some sorority wicked cannibals. They're get cursed by their own actions. There.
I will make sure to. I will. I know I've got plans that I have to be at Knitters Network tomorrow. She wants me on her panel, but I will stop by yours when I'm done with that.
Yeah, yeah, that's not a problem there. Yeah, then Friday we're reviewing the Waltons episode, The Car. So Saturday we're reviewing the episode or the movie Dark City, which the first five or six people that get a hold of me saying they want to be on the panel there will get a panel, but limited to 6 there, and I already got one person who is confirmed.
You're
And then,
expecting a whole bunch of people to go flooding in there, I guess, huh?
well, the first time I mentioned we're doing Dark City, I see like 8 people say how much they love that movie.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah.
So,
Then I don't blame you for limiting the amount on the panel.
and I despise 10 people panels because then all of a sudden it just turns into everybody talking over each other. Then it windows down to only 2 people get to say something to do all the talking.
Oh yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, that's where I like on our Waltons there. Usually we just have the 3 of us there on the panel and a bunch of people in the chat that we can really get the flow going. And most of my clips are actually from our Walton streams because I'll try to get around to clipping some more stuff Well, maybe I'll do a couple live streams during the week over the weekend too.
Okay.
Then otherwise next Wednesday is more justified.
Okay. Well, and I appreciate you. Thank you for helping me out tonight with the chat and for
Yeah,
being
no
here
problem.
for the. Yeah, I'm glad we were back with Gilligan's Island. It's too bad there's only one episode, but like I said, yeah, we'll catch up next week. I promise everyone. And I'm gonna give the episode an A as well. I enjoyed it. Of course, I'm biased. I love all Gilligan's Island, but this was a really good episode. It was nice to see them encounter a new dilemma, and it was we saw some new locations. Basically, we saw the other side of the island. We saw the professor. There's a cliff there where he was pushing the rock. I don't know. It was nice. Every now and then we get guest stars on the island, people that happen that come along. But this kind of reminds you similar to like a Star Trek bottle episode. But it was good to see, yeah, the way it resolved, and it shows that deep down inside the Howells are considerate, are nice, and are thankful for the other castaways. So I appreciate that. And as far as my stream is concerned, Saturday I should be back for Rumblings from the Lab, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Next Monday, another classic episode of Lost in Space at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And then next Tuesday evening, we'll be back with our horror sci-fi stream. I'm not really sure which title yet, but I'll have that. I have to look. Somebody talking?
Oh, I thought I had to sit.
Oh, no, I thought you were saying. I thought I heard somebody talking.
No, no, I was pulling something up for up there that apparently you could hear it through my headphones. I didn't know that
Sorry
happened.
about that.
No, you're fine. You're
Um,
fine.
but yeah, but I have to look. I'm not really sure what next Tuesday's horror sci-fi stream going to be yet. I can't remember if it's because once a month it's like Hammer, another month it's like sci-fi, another month it's like something else. I guess I have to see what category we have coming up next. But and then we're back the following week, Wednesday with 2 episodes of Gilligan's Island. But yeah, like I said, I give it an A, and so did Gorilla. So we both enjoyed it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and close the poll that I have in the chat. I hope you voted, and I'll share that with everybody, and we'll see what kind of results we got. All right, away we go. All right, give me just a moment, everybody. Bear with me. Da, 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 da. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, it looks like excellent. It looks like we got 5 votes tonight. What grade would you give Where There's a Will? And it looks like we got an 80% with A plus to A minus, 20% with C plus to C minus, and zero. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, interesting results. No B's or D's or F's. Okay, yeah.
Oh, oops! I forgot to vote.
Forgot to vote. And I didn't vote because I vote verbally when we review it. So
Yeah.
I didn't vote.
No, whenever there's the zeros on the F's, that's joke. Oh, I forgot to vote.
But yeah, that was great. We were able to do this in about an hour, which isn't too bad for one episode, right? Because we usually do, I think, 2 hours for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, thank you. A big hug and a warm thanks to everybody in the chat for coming along, spending some time with us. I really do appreciate it. It's always a highlight of my week. I love Gilligan's Island, and I can't wait to get back Saturday. We'll have some interesting topics for our rumblings from the lab. If you can hopefully make it. And by the way, Suzanne, it's good to see you again. I'm glad you were able to join us. And if you're listening on the rerun, Stone Racket, I hope you get better soon. Our good buddy Stone Racket has been under the weather lately, so I'm sending you my blessings. I hope you get well, sir. But if you work tomorrow, guys, please drive safe. Don't stay up too late to where you have to worry about falling asleep while you're driving the car. And stay warm wherever you're at too, because I know the weather is still crazy in a lot of places. But with that, have a great. And then you want to say Gorilla before we close
Oh, the
out.
weather hasn't been crazy here. It's been abnormally warm here.
And here too, thank goodness, because it actually melted some of the snow off. I heard we're supposed to get more next week, but at least for now we get a couple of days reprieve from it. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, thank you, and Grill, again, thank you for helping me tonight. And it's good to see you here, and thank you for helping me with the chat once again.
Yeah, no
Uh,
problem.
all right, and goodbye, bye everybody. Take
All
care.
right,
Like
see
I
you,
say,
everybody.
yep, peace.